It's early May and we finally have some sunshine, so I thought this is the ideal time for a garden tour. Spring this year was extremely cold and long and wet and very low light levels, so I feel I'm behind on all of my sowing and seedlings. But no worries if you feel like this, there is still time and everything is just about to start. So this is the time to get those seeds into the soil, plant out those seedlings, start to mulch your garden and then watch everything explode. And first of all, I've been giving all of these pots and borders a little bit of TLC. Cut down some wild perennials, put in some new already flowering annuals, just to bring it to life. I planted a variety of flowering annuals and perennials just to bring it all to life, give it some color and give it a pop. And it does make all the difference, but the main task, where it is all hands on deck now, is behind me. It's the greenhouse and the allotment garden. It is finally getting rather toasty here in the greenhouse and it shows. The last of the cauliflowers are finally coming out and every time I harvest one, it makes room for a new top dressing of compost and just tomatoes. It is all about tomatoes this season. Although I must say the cauliflowers have been doing great over winter. I covered them with their own leaves just to keep the actual cauliflower very pristine white and they are really ready to come out now. And together with my tomatoes I'm planting these baby ollas. Olla? Oya? Whatever. These are basically terracotta jugs. These are the smaller size, they are normally much bigger and you just dig them into the soil up to the neck. You can then fill them with water and they will slowly disperse all of the water underground. This keeps me from having to water the tomatoes from up top, which they don't like at all, which opens them to all kinds of fungal diseases. So watering from below is ideal for tomatoes. And these oyas make it ever so easy. And it is also all about water preservation. Because the water stays under the soil level, there is no evaporation whatsoever, and yes, the topsoil might be bone dry, but down below the water slowly disperses as the plants need it. Absolutely in love with these small sized ollas. They are a summer watering greenhouse game changer. And this is also the time for planting out. I've been sowing these nasturtiums and they are more than ready to go out now. They've been enjoying the heat and the sunshine of the greenhouse. I've been hardening them off the last few days and they are ready to go out. They will keep away all of the pests like aphids and slugs from the actual vegetables. Yes, they will be sacrificed, but these are such prolific growers that you can miss a few. I mean, these will just spread over on soil level all across the allotment. I will probably have to cut them back at one point, but that's not a problem because every part of this plant is edible. You can eat the leaves, you can eat the flowers. It has this almost peppery flavor and it is ideal to dress your salads with. This will be tomato dominated in no time now, but I'm also growing some cucumber, some bell peppers, there is lots of basil that I will be companion planting with my tomatoes. So yeah, everything is about to explode. But let's take a look in the allotment garden. Everything is starting here as well. Behind me is the allotment garden, but as the sun is out, strangely enough, so are the slugs and snails this year. It has been an absolute ongoing battle. Now I am known to oversow and I always have a lot of seedlings on to spare, but this year I've been actually forced to use them. The carnage is vast. I'm using all of my slug and snail hunting skills. I've been setting out all kinds of traps. I've been hand-picking them, feeding them to the chickens. But even then, there are still so many this year. So I'm still keeping a few of the spare seedlings in the greenhouse where they are safe from voracious appetite of these slugs and hope to just grow them up large and strong enough to put them out again and get them up to that stage where they can, survive a little slug damage. But it's not all a disaster. I mean, look at these peas. They come up to my chin and they are doing absolutely great. They will be flowering very soon now, and then I hope for a glut of peas. I have sown another batch down at the back of the allotment garden where there is much less sun, and I expect them to develop much slower. But then again, giving me a much later harvest, just spreading it all over the season. And look at these shallots. They are doing absolutely fabulous. I planted these out as sets somewhere around late February, and they are absolutely loving the weather. I honestly prefer shallots to actual onions because these are much more refined in taste, they store longer, and they are the ideal size to use in the kitchen. So I am absolutely team shallot, and I mean, look at these. These are absolutely luscious at this moment. I've been tying up the first runner beans as well. They have actually managed to survive the slug onslaught, but there should be cabbages, there should be Romanesco cabbage here in this plot, and as you can see, they are rather sad looking and they have been absolutely devoured by the slug. Together with the sunflowers, they have absolutely suffered, and I will have to replace them at one point. But we have been forecasted some rain again in a few days, so I think I'm going to wait and just keep them somewhere safe, nice and toasty in the greenhouse for now. And then in a week or so, I can finally plant out bigger seedlings, and hopefully they will survive the slug onslaught. But runner beans are doing just fine. And here is another example, a sad example of a plant that has been under attack for weeks now. This is my rhubarb. I divided my old rhubarb and put this younger set in to rejuvenate the plant. And luckily I'm not planning to harvest this one. Just let it sit out the season, let it soak up the sun, put all of its energy into growing, and then next year I will get a much healthier, much bigger plant which is ready to harvest. So no rhubarb crumble for me this year, but next year I might be needing all of your rhubarb recipes. So let me know in the comments what is your favorite way to use rhubarb. And then we come to the fruit, and we have this row of apple trees behind me. And again, spring has kind of foiled us. Yes, there are some apples already forming on the plants, but when they were all in bloom, just nice and happy and ever so beautiful, then we got hit with a sudden cold snap, with torrential hail, with long rains, and, well, it has not been ideal for pollination, so I don't think we will get a glut of apples this year, and I will be happy to find already some on these plants. These strawberries are doing really well this year, and I am hoping that we will be harvesting in, let's say, another few weeks. Now, I've planted two varieties. One is an ever-bearing variety, which will give me smaller but a more continuous harvest, while the others are a variety that just focus all of its harvest in the month of June. So we will hopefully have these bigger, juicier strawberries for eating. Now, together with the strawberries, the pond has been doing just nice as well. This is a natural pond, so no filters, but we've added lots of oxygenation plants, we have added moss balls, we have added sweet water clams, and they will all help to keep the algae growth under control and just to keep the water pure and fresh. Which brings us to our little chickies. This is a new flock of 5 chickens now, and they've been absolutely enjoying the large run that they have. They just absolutely love to explore the place, just scratch all day, take dust baths, just hide amongst the foliage and the trees. And yeah, they absolutely love it here. And that's it. That's the quick tour of the garden at the beginning of May, and everything is about to take off. It is an absolutely lovely period at this time of the year, but it is also that period that tends to get on top of you. Just spend 5 to 10 minutes a day, every day, and you'll see that things will get along just nice. That's it for me for today. Thank you for coming along on this garden tour, and now I want to hear from you. Let me know down below in the comments how your garden is doing at the moment. Are there things you are struggling with, or are you having some early victories? Again, let me know and we'll talk gardening in May some more. And in the meantime, if you can't get enough of my garden, which I can't blame you for, then there is a solution. All you have to do is watch this video.